Hello everybody and welcome to the famous MOT episode where the tomato will undergo an MOT. Will its first MOT in 5 years. Will it pass? Will it indeed? In the meantime, I've just got to quickly change the back box that I'd had to take out because the other one was holed. Then I'm going to be dropping the car on all four wheels and again checking for leaks because of course once it's under pressure is when more leaks could pop up. So this car really seems to split opinion. You either absolutely love it or you want to burn it, and it seems that the same thing applies to the accordion music that I picked as a French music to go along with the tomato. So take away the accordion music. There it is. Look at the tomato, almost looking handsome, hunching down like that, like a tiger ready to spring for its MOT. Good morning everybody, and it's D-Day, well it's MOT day, so first of all let's see if it starts alright, because it has been slightly temperamental on the starter. Absolutely bang on, great start. Okay, so you'll notice that I am wearing glasses. That is because basically when I was trying to put the exhaust on the tomato there was a slight issue, and that is that, oh look at it, I can see the back going up, love that. Basically yeah, I could see that, what am I saying, I couldn't see anything. I was I can't multitask, typical man. So I was putting on the back box, and of course I've been told many times to wear safety glasses when I'm working under cars, also by many of you. And of course I have completely ignored that over time. So what happened is that a bit of rust went into this eye, and it has actually happened before a while ago. Nothing much happened, I just got it out and that was it. But this time the tomato did punish me and teach me a lesson, and basically I got a slight infection which is just now going away. It means I can't wear contact lenses. Anyway, back to today, because this is actually quite exciting. This is the first time that I am driving the tomato on the road, and I am massively excited. It's been quite a slog fixing it up as much as it needed to, and well, now I'm actually driving one for the first time. Maybe I'll hate it. And I can tell you, one of the most surprising things is that it's nowhere near, and I mean nowhere near, as soft as I thought it would be. I think having been in a DS and so on, I was imagining something that kind of glides and very much tips into corners, and the tomato just doesn't do that. It actually drives very much like a normal car. And if anything, the very, very small frequency bumps, so the tiny little ripples, that kind of stuff, I can actually feel those a lot more than I was expecting. But any of the bigger bumps, it really deals with a plump. Now I will do a proper road test, but obviously since it's the first time I got to drive this car, I think I might as well give you a bit more of the feel for it. And on the whole, I mean obviously I've done barely a mile, but considering the tomato's past and what's happened to it, what it's been through, it actually drives pretty well. Now I know I've done some work to it, obviously, but it feels fairly good. The gear change isn't nice, but that could also be maybe changing the fluid would help, and it's just quite notchy, quite long, bit sloppy, but again maybe the mechanism doing something with that will help. The engine's really free revving. I'm not gonna rev the nuts out of it just yet. We'll wait until after the MOT before I start trying to drive this hard for safety. But the engine feels really nice. I know they're really supposed to be quite asthmatic under 4,000, and it certainly isn't, yeah, it's not, there isn't a huge amount there, but it moves around all right, it feels nice, it makes a nice little noise, so that's all good. driving position is very, well, it's very odd really. I don't understand why. It feels like you sit perched really unnecessarily high. There's no adjustment for that, that's just the way it is, but it is extremely comfortable. Oh, these seats. I think everybody used to hate Velar, and to be honest, so did I back in the day when everyone wanted leather. Now that, you know, every car has leather and cloth and stuff, these Velar seats, they're really comfortable, they grip you really nicely, and they're comfortable in the way that only the French, they just know how to make a comfortable chair, don't they? Now, there has been a bit of an issue that I found too late to do anything about it. Two issues actually. Now, one was that I have found some play in one of the wishbones, and it's not dramatic, so it's going to be it's going to be 50-50 whether it passes the MOT with that amount of play or not. I've already bought a replacement wishbone, but it's just not going to be time to do that before the MOT. So that is one potential area for failure, and that's the passenger side wishbone. The other thing is that there was a slight weep on a collar around the power steering rack, and unfortunately in trying to fix it I've made it worse. Again, I've bought the part that's needed for that, but it may be too late. Well, it is too late to fix it before the MOT. So those are two potential failure areas. It's not pouring out in terms of the fluid, and that wishbone isn't terrible, but it may be bad enough. Still, I mean, it's just amazing to think that the Tomato is going for an MOT after sort of 5-6 years, is it? That it's just been sitting there, and it had only been, you know, MOT'd anyway once before that, and again it had been sat doing nothing for years. So on the whole, again, you know, I'm quite happy with this little car. I think it's, you know, when it first arrived it looked so dreadful, and it's already just looking miles better. So yeah, fingers crossed, and let's see what happens. All right, everybody, are we ready for this? It is a fail. Okay, so it's not bad news really, but so headlamp aim too low. He tried to adjust that, but he couldn't. He said just try and adjust that. So it's a very minor thing. Seatbelt damaged offside rear. I'd never noticed this before, but one of the rear belts has got a chunk missing out of it. So really an annoying but very minor thing. I'm sure there should be plenty around, second-hand ones, to replace that with. There's a leak from the central exhaust box, so that may either need a new one or fixing of some kind. I'll have to have a look at that. Then the front arm that I mentioned as well, that is obviously, that's been brought up, and not a big issue because I've ordered one of those already, so that will be changed. And then also he picked up near side rear brake. There's a slight delay before that piston comes in, so I think that's probably the system needs bleeding, I think. So, and the advisories, just slight dampness front suspension pipes, which is actually pretty good because no other advisories. I'm pretty pleased with that, everybody. So on the whole, the Tomato, I had a sneaking suspicion it would fail on that front arm. The only thing that's a slight surprise is the brake lagging, but hopefully that won't be a big deal to fix. So on the whole, it's passed its emissions and everything. So yeah, I'm all right with it. I'm reasonably happy. I like the way it drives, and I think, you know, this has potential really, this little car. I've cleaned the interior and everything, and just a little bit more work, and so more updates to come, everybody. But big strides ahead with the Tomato, I feel. Please do subscribe if you haven't already, and I really look forward to seeing you for the next video. If you need to contact me, Instagram is the best way. See you soon.